And it's been interesting. I moved last September I moved, and it was twice a week I was getting Jehovah's Witnesses come to my door. Now this doesn't happen to me, okay? If I stay in any one place for too long, all of a sudden nobody knocks on my door. But this was cool because they kept coming back, and they would bring guys with them. And it was an interesting exchange. Matter of fact, I want to tell you one exchange that I had. It was Halloween, October 31st, and this gentleman was here with a friend of his. They kind of went together, and they started talking, and I asked them what I always ask them. Usually one of the first things that I ask them is, can you tell me what it is that attracted you to the Watchtower? Were you born into it? Oh, no, I wasn't born into it. He said, I was a Baptist. I was raised in a small Baptist congregation. However, one day when two men came up to my door, they told me a lot of things that I hadn't heard of before. He went on and said, they told me the truth. For example, they told me about holidays. Today is Halloween, and many different churches will celebrate it by having Halloween parties at their church or trunk or treat or things like that. He goes, but Halloween has its roots in paganism, and why would I want to be involved in a paganistic practice if I'm going to church? Christians will do, even Christmas. He says Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. December 25th is really a Roman pagan holiday that Christians celebrate. And I didn't know any of this before. We know this because the shepherds were out feeding their flocks, and they couldn't have fed their flocks in December with the snow. That's what he said. Now, I'm listening to this and I'm going, wow, why is this guy so hung up on holidays? Why is this a big deal? I couldn't figure out how you would, okay, maybe you learn a couple interesting facts about why would that make you change your faith? Well, he went on. He said, they talked about things like the Trinity and how the Trinity isn't right. They told me things I'd never heard before in all my time at church. Afterwards, I was confused. And I called my pastor. I told him what they said and asked about those holidays and the points they brought up. He said to me, are those guys Jehovah's Witnesses? Well, yeah. And he goes, you just need to stay away from those guys. They're not good for you. And that's basically all he said. He hung up. Albert sat wondering, well, why doesn't my pastor want me to know the truth? These guys seem to want me to know the truth, and my pastor doesn't. I had better check them out some more. Now, I tell you this story to sensitize you to a couple of things. First of all, hiding from Jehovah's Witnesses is probably not the best idea. Because in hiding from a witness, you may lose a Christian. You may have a guy who had an experience with a pastor, and he's just coming out as a Jehovah's Witness. And when he finds out that there are Christians out there who actually can answer issues, it's going to make a big difference in his outlook. Maybe he won't be so quick to jump ship. But beyond that, Albert's pastor didn't seem to care about these things, and Albert took that as not caring about the truth. That's why we do these classes. There are real people, and there are real lives at stake, eternities at stake.